Hi, I'm Alex, and this is Pucks and Paperbacks. Today I have the A to Z of Queer Lit and my final book recommendations for Pride. This was created by George Lester. I'll have his video down below. And this is just recommending queer books from A to Z. The letter can be either in the author or title. This is a popular trend on BookTube, especially with LGBTQ plus creators. And I've been meaning to make another one because I actually had this up on my channel, but then I accidentally deleted it and didn't have it back up. And so here we are with the A to Z of Queer Lit. Enjoy. A is for All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. I love this memoir so much. It's one of my favorites. It is by a Black queer non-binary person, and it's just their memoir about their childhood up until college and just talking about themselves and what they went through. B is for Between Perfect and Real by Ray Stovey, one of my favorite YA contemporaries with a trans masked main character. This is all about a trans boy named Dean coming to terms with his gender identity when he is casted as Romeo in his school's production of Romeo and Juliet. And he's a skater. He's awesome and one of my favorite characters. C is for Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. This follows two sisters, and when their father dies in a plane crash, this leads them to each other. D is for Don't Date Rosa Santos by Nina Marino. This follows a bisexual Cuban-American girl over the summer. She is crushing on a boy, and she's also dealing with grief. E is for Long Macchiatos and Monsters by Alison Evans. This is a T for T romance novella set in Australia following a trans guy and a genderqueer person and their relationship. They are both disabled. The trans guy has a prosthetic leg and the genderqueer person has a disfigured hand. This has a T for T romance and it is a coffee shop meet cute. F is for Full Disclosure by Cameron Garrett. This follows a girl named Simone who is HIV positive, and it is about her directing her school's production of Rent. It is one of my favorite contemporaries. It has a lot of queer rep. There's an ace lesbian, and I just love this book so much. G is for Goldie Vance and the Hotel Whodunit by Lilian Rivera. This is a novelization of the comic series Goldie Vance. This is a mystery, but she does end up falling for a girl. H is for Homie by Denez Smith. This is one of my favorite poetry collections by a Black non-binary poet who is HIV positive. The poems are about grief, mourning those who were gone too soon, American racism, depression, and more. So do look out for the trigger warnings. I highly recommend the audiobook. I is for In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. This is her nonfiction about being in a abusive queer relationship, and it's told in different genres. It's beautifully written. J is for It Was Never Going to Be Okay by Jay Simpson. This is another poetry collection. It's by a Two-Spirit OG Cree person. This has such lyrical prose, and all of the poems are about gender identity, dating as a trans person, and their indigenous heritage. K is for Knit One Girl Two by Shira Glassman. This is a sapphic novella about yarn dyeing, and we also have some Jewish representation. The author is Jewish, and she's always writing that representation into her books. L is for I'll Be the One by Layla Lee. This is following a fat Korean American bisexual girl on a TV show to find the next K-pop star. This has great commentary about Korean culture, body image, and fat phobia. M is for Melissa by Alex Gino. This is about a trans girl named Melissa in elementary school. She wants to be Charlotte in her school's production of Charlotte's Web, but her teacher won't let her, and this is all about her coming out, and it's such a great story. N is for Nature Poem by Tommy Pico. This is another indigenous poetry collection, and this one is told in text slang. O is for Obi is Man Enough by Skylar Billar. This is following a trans Korean American boy. He's 13 years old, and he gets kicked off his swim team because his coach is transphobic. Though Obi goes through a lot in this book, he also experiences a lot of trans joy, which helps balance it. It is about first crushes. In the end, it is all about trying to exist as a trans kid in middle school. And it's awesome. P is for Pet by Kweke Emezi. This is about a young trans girl who is selective mute. And one day, Pet a monster comes to visit her and she has to help them on their quest. Q is for A Quick and Easy Guide to Queer and Trans Identities by Maddie G and J.R. Zuckerberg. The title is self-explanatory, but it is illustrated and has really good information. R is for The Love and Lies of Rukhsana Ali by Sabina Khan. This is about a Bangladeshi American girl who is a lesbian and she is caught making out with her girlfriend by her mother and she is sent away to Bangladesh. It is just such a great book. These stories are really important and I highly recommend this one. S is for one of my very favorite books, Stay Gold by Tobley McSmith. This is about a trans boy who goes stealth at his new school. He meets a girl who is a cheerleader and has really good conversations and is about a messy trans boy, and I just love messy characters. He also is working for this guy to help clean out his attic to save up money for top surgery. This is a heavy book, so do look out for the trigger warnings, but it's an important one to have stories like this where we have trans guys who are dealing with a lot. And I absolutely love Pony as a character. And I haven't recommended this at all during Pride Month, so here it is. T is for Tash Meets Tolstoy by Catherine Ormsby. This follows an asexual main character, and she is the director of a web series about Anna Karenina, and it is also just about being on the internet and just being a public figure and what that's like. This does a really good job of getting what YouTube is like, and that's why I like it. U is for Upright Women Wanted by Sarah Galley. This is a Western novella following queer librarian spies, and it is such a great novella. Highly recommend the audiobook for this one. V is for Cattywampus by Ash Van Otterloo. This is following an intersex main character. This is all about magic, rival witch families, and defeating zombies. W is for Where We Go From Here by Lucas Roca. This is a translated work from Portuguese to English, and it is such a fantastic book. It is about 3 gay men and their experiences with HIV, and it is a beautiful story, and I also recommend the audiobook for this one. X is for Night Sky with Exit Wounds by Ocean Vuong. This is a poetry collection about a Vietnamese American gay man. The poems are about romance, family, war, grief, and melancholia. Y is for You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. This is about a bisexual heroine trying to win homecoming queen to earn money for her college tuition. This has a sapphic romance. The main character has anxiety and panic attacks, and there's also chronic illness. And Z is for I Am a Prince by Damien A. Lopez. This is a picture book about a trans prince. He comes out to his family, and what I love most about it is the communication. The king and queen want to know what they can do for him, and they don't push back at all, and it's awesome. And that was the A to Z of Queer Lit. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That really helps out my channel when you do so. And if you're new here, feel free to hit subscribe because I always talk about queer and trans books on this channel. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my content. I really appreciate it. I am going to be taking a week off in July, just like the first week, because I've been making a lot of content and I need myself a break. But in the meantime, I'll have all of my playlists down below and videos you can watch if you missed them because I've been posting a lot this month, and if you need to catch up, I'm here for you. To end out this video, let me know in the comments what brought you joy this Pride Month because it's been really hard. And so if you were able to find a little piece of joy, I want to know. And if you don't feel like commenting, you can just comment a rainbow emoji so I know that you stayed. I am going to have resources down below for how you can help trans kids, especially trans girls at the moment, because they're being targeted, especially in the sports world. And also how you can donate to abortion funds because it's about to get really ugly. It is really important that we help those around us because Black, queer, trans people are going to be more affected by this. And so check my description and I will see you in a couple weeks. Bye.